Aston Villa have been active in the January transfer window, bringing in the likes of Marcus Rashford, Asensio and Disasi, while selling starboy Jhon Durán to Al Nassr for big money. Today, we are rebuilding Aston Villa. Our goal? European glory like 1982. Unai's men will be turning Villa Park into a fortress. Can Marcus Rashford find his form? Can we discover the next Jack Grealish? Today, we rebuild Aston Villa, with the ultimate goal of winning it all. What you saying, everyone? ADR here. Aston Villa rebuild. Be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. So Aston Villa currently find themselves 8th in the table, only 4 points behind Manchester City. Now, first order of business is bringing in this guy. And there he is, guys, the latest villain. What do you think of this transfer? Let me know in the comments below. Personally, as a United fan, thought he'd go abroad, but there you go. Let's not forget, Aston Villa signed this guy as well. 7 mil in real life, 3.5 in the game. And can you believe he's 29 already? This guy they've brought in on loan from PSG, Marcus Asensio. Tactically, I think it makes sense. And here's why. This is how Villa currently line up. Obviously, Tyrone Mings is injured, so is Pau Torres. Diego Carlos isn't at the club anymore. So they lined up with Kamara in at centre-back and Bogard alongside Tielemans. This is the shape without the ball, near enough. But with the ball, they kind of play like a 3-box-3. Let's see if we can replicate it in the game. I think this is the best we can do. 3-box-3, right? So you've got the 3 at the back here. And then you've got the box of the 4 midfielders. Then you've got the left back that pushes up. So Luca Dean starts here, goes there, and forms that sort of front 3. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this work with Marcus Rashford? Because he plays the McGinn role. But this is where I think things change. To this, where Rashford's that attacking left winger, Watkins is the striker still, and then it's actually new signing Garcia, who can play right mid as well, is that attacking wing back. Then Kamara completing the 3, sitting in between the 2 defenders. Somehow McGinn's in centre back. I'm not sure how that happened, but you can see the shape. 3 at the back with Matson inverting to play alongside Tielemans, Asensio drifting inside to form that box that we are talking about. So they still could play 3-box-3. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that's how we are going to assume, realistically, Emery's going to set up. And guys, look at this. If you move John McGinn to CDM, he goes all the way up to 84. How ridiculous is that? And there he is, Axel Disasi, Villa player. Don't really love him as a centre-back personally, but Villa fans, let me know what you think. And look at our key players. We have to start between the sticks. Emi Martinez, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He is now 32 and he just signed a new contract, 4 years left on his deal. Next key player is our talisman, Ollie Watkins. He scored 10 goals and got 8 assists this season. One thing is we don't have Jhon Durán anymore, so another key player is going to be Marcus Rashford. Surprisingly has 10 goal involvements this season, even after being frozen out by Unai Emery. He is going to play a big part in replacing Jhon Durán this season. And another player that's been on fire this season, 7 goals and 5 assists, 12 goal involvements for young Morgan Rogers, 22 years old, and he has bags of potential. He's got some good play styles, incisive pass, technical flair. He's our number 10. They need to get him a face scan, but he's another big player for us. Now, our objective for the first season is to get top 4. Do you think this team is good enough for top 4? I'll be honest, it doesn't currently look like it. But if we get the likes of, I don't know, a Pau Torres back, maybe sooner rather than later, we can see a prime Rashford and a prime Asensio, then you never know, anything's possible. But I think we take Europa League and maybe like quarters or semis of the Champions League for the first season. I wouldn't mind. Another goal we have is to get this man to 10 Premier League goals, get him in double digits. So he only needs 6 more, to be fair. Hopefully that's going to be possible. Hopefully he can prove Unai Emery wrong. And another long-term objective we have is to find the next Jack Grealish, arguably Aston Villa's best academy talent. And because of that, we've decided to scout both England and Ireland, because he actually did represent Republic of Ireland at some point. So we've got the two nations to choose from, and let's see if we can find the next Jack Grealish. So we made it to the end of the season, and not the season we were hoping for. We finished 12th. I'm not too sure how that happened. I guess juggling Champions League and the Prem really held us back. In fact, Man United finished ahead of us. That is a bit of an L for Marcus Rashford. No surprise who won it. Liverpool won it. Top four was City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and getting relegated is Southampton, Leicester, and Wolves. Ipswich managed to survive. Could you imagine the scenes if that happened? FA Cup was won by Man United, and we actually did really well in the FA Cup, but we lost to United 4-3 on penalties, Amorim getting his revenge. If we had have beat them, we would have faced Fulham in the final as well. Could have been some silverware for Emery. Carabao Cup went to Newcastle, beating Liverpool 4-2. And can you believe it? The Champions League was won by Arsenal. They beat Real Madrid 2-1 in the final. We unfortunately lost to Inter Milan 5-4 on aggregate in the round of 16. The Europa League went to Spurs, so what is going on? European football is in North London at the moment. And for some reason, it's not showing us who won the Conference League. I don't know if that's a glitch. Let me know in the comments. Have you seen this glitch before? In terms of goals, what a season from Ollie Watkins. 20 goals in the Prem, 27 goals, all competitions, 9 assists. Rodgers behind him with 11. A little bit disappointing from Rashford, only getting 7 with 5 assists. Hopefully next season he can push on and find his form again. So into season 2, this is what the squad is looking like. Rashford 81 rated. He has gone up slightly in overall. I think we could do with maybe some backup centre-back, seeing as it's only Tyrone Mings, as Disasi has returned to Chelsea from his loan. Now, our first signing, I think he'll go in and automatically be our best centre-back. Can also play right-back. That is Wilfried Singo from Monaco. And just like that, we have a fast, tall, strong centre-back that can rotate with Konza, maybe even start ahead of him, and Konza go to right back. The options are endless. Singo, welcome to Villa. Only cost us 42.5 million. Still got a bit of the budget left to spend. We need a backup goalkeeper. Contract's expiring in 11 months. He's got really good distribution as well. So we're going to sign Arnaud Tenaz from PSG. And there he is. He gets the number 1, but he's definitely our number 2. He's not as tall as I thought, unless Unai Emery is quite tall. But Tenaz is going to be our backup keeper. He's still young, so maybe the long-term replacement for Emi Martinez. But I don't see him falling off anytime soon, really. And yeah, he's only 6'1", which isn't the tallest for a goalkeeper. So maybe a few years later, we'll find a permanent replacement for Emi. Now, this is quite a big one. Leon Bailey is leaving Aston Villa. Now, he was linked with a move away in January. It was only a loan, but this time we've let him go permanently. And it's a team that could do with a right winger. Newcastle United, 42.5 million. They now have Leon Bailey. Now, that leaves us just with Donyell Malen at right mid. So maybe it would be a good idea to bring in a new right mid. And there was only one man I had in mind. It's Bryan Mbeumo. His contract actually expires this year, so we might even be able to get a good deal on him. And despite the hairline, he actually is only 25. And how do you rate this signing? Bryan Mbeumo is joining Aston Villa. Villa fans, let me know, would you like to see him join in real life? I think he's the perfect replacement for Leon Bailey. And for 28.5 million, that is a great deal. So seeing as we both have Rashford and Mbeumo, both wingers more so, I think we're going to change the formation. Not a huge change, but 4-2-1-3 probably suits us a bit better. And decided to do a bit of a strategic deal. 400k, we've brought in Jason Steele, and we're going to put Tenaz out on loan. So somehow, guys, we have managed to make the Europa League. Now, I have no idea how that's possible, seeing as we didn't win the FA Cup. We did not win. We finished like 12th in the Premier League. However, for some reason, we're in the Europa League. I am not complaining about it. If I knew we were in the Europa League, I probably would have made a few more signings. And guys, after a long search, we have found the next Jack Grealish. Now he's only 14, but as you can see from his positions, he can play left mid, cam and left wing. And what's crazy is he has 7. Yep, you heard it right. 7 play styles to start off with, which is pretty much the max you can get. So I've never seen a talent like this. He is only 14, so we're going to have to wait a couple years to promote him. But what that does mean is he's going to have some serious growth in the meantime. So we've made it to January. We find ourselves 3rd in the table. That is amazing. We look to be a lock for Champions League football, which is good. 10 points clear of West Ham in 5th. Here's what the team's looking like. As you can see, Watkins and Mbeumo are shining. Rashford still not really got going as yet, but we haven't given up hope on him. We are a bit thin in the attacking areas though. Only Louis Barry as a replacement for Rashford or Watkins. Malen is in and around the team, same with Jacob Ramsey, but we could do with another attacker. And I think it's only right that we go for someone that we were linked with last January. And there he is, João Felix, signing for about £50 million. And you know what, I've decided we're going to play him in the 10. We're going to move Morgan Rogers to left wing. And Marcus might be needing a loan. So this is what the team could look like without Marcus Rashford. And honestly, it looks amazing. So he joins us from Sheffield for about 9 million. And straight away he is back out on loan off to Galatasaray till the end of the season. And we managed to secure Champions League football. That is very nice. We lost 9 games, which is obviously not great, but we won 23 and that had us in 3rd place. Man City went back to winning the Premier League with Liverpool falling to 4th. Man United and Chelsea nowhere to be seen. Chelsea 9th. Man United finishing 12th. Not looking good for them. And getting relegated was Everton. Everton finally going down. Luton and Sunderland. And the FA Cup went to Arsenal. We actually lost to Man City in the 5th round. And the Carabao Cup went to Liverpool, beating Arsenal in the final. PSG won the Champions League against Inter Milan. The Europa League we finished 13th and went into the playoff place, where we beat Basel 7-1 on aggregate. We then faced Dynamo Zagreb in the round of 16 and we lost 4-3 on aggregates. That's not great. Eintracht Frankfurt went on to the final to play Roma and they won 4-2 on penalties. Now you're probably wondering how Marcus Rashford did. 13 goals, 5 assists on the season. He played 40 games for us, so it's not the best. But he is up to 82 rated now and we're going to see how he does. In terms of our top goal scorer, there's only one man, Ollie Watkins. He's now 30, but I still think he's got room to grow. He had 26 goals and 9 assists, and just behind him, actually getting more league goals than him, was Brian Mbeumo, summer signing. 20 goals and 10 assists in the league is incredible. So into season 3, and guys, we have a big problem. As you can see, we've got a lot of expiring deals and a few retiring players. So first of all, Tyrone Mings is retiring at the end of the season. And Jason Steele is also retiring at the end of the season. So those two need to be replaced. But to be fair, we do have 5 keepers, so I'm not too worried about Jason Steele. Just like that, Luca Dean is off to Bournemouth for 12.5 million. Matty Cash is off to Atleti for 19 million. And Donyell Malen leaves for West Ham for 28 million. Let's see how he does there. Quick check on Jack Grealish, Rory Wyatt. He is now up to 60 overall. He's grown a little bit. He's now 5'5". Let's see if he continues to grow any more. He hasn't had that growth spurt just as yet, but 60 overall, 15 in the next few months, we should be able to promote him. And this is what our team is currently looking like. As you can see, we've got Sosa playing right back. Definitely not going to happen. It's quite evident we need a new right back. Just like that, Ben White joins. Cost us a pretty penny, 52.5 million joining from Arsenal, but it feels like it just fits, him being the right back for Aston Villa. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So next, let's find a left back. Now, seeing as Matson's quite young, maybe we'll get someone with a bit more experience. And for 13 mil, backup left back makes sense. Him and Matson can rotate. And next up for our defence, we do need a new centre-back. We've got Pau Torres and Mings here, both getting on in age just a little bit. A left-footed young centre-back with bags of potential would be the ideal transfer here. I think I've found the perfect centre-back. Nathan Zeze is joining. He comes in at 75 overall, quite tall, 6'3". He's only 21, but I think we are going to get him a loan, get him some game time, and see how he progresses. So looking at our team, we surely have to win at least one trophy this year. We don't have any 90 overalls, but Watkins and Martinez aren't far off. And then the rest of the team is really good. We just need to make sure we win more games. And it has happened. He is now 5'7". He's 62 overall. He is ready to be promoted. Rory Wyatt, our Jack Grealish regen. Let's see how he does. And first things first, let's get him in some new boots. I think that will do. And you already know, we've got to give him the short socks. Show off those calf muscles. And there he is. Does he look like Jack? He's got the number 10. Either way, he's going out on loan. He's only 16. Hopefully he'll be in and around the squad in no time. And just as the season was going really well, we have some bad news. Ezri Konsa broke his toe. He's out for 3 months. It's not all bad because we do have Pau Torres who can play centre-back. We also have Ben White who could fill in at centre-back as well if we had to. But it's not ideal because we were having a very good season. And guys, we cannot catch a break. He's out for 5 weeks. What even is Jumper's knee? I don't even know. But I think that might be our season done. Tenas comes in goal, but no Konsa, no Martinez. It's not looking good for us. And we've made it to the last day of the season, guys. We are 3 points off Man City. They would need to lose, but they are against Tottenham, so you never know. Tottenham usually get a result against them. We'd also need a draw from Arsenal if we are to win the league. Let's see how we do. And Rodgers is through. Rodgers driving through. Rodgers in the first few minutes has managed to give us the lead. It's 1-0 to Villa. Can we win the Premier League? Watkins is through. Finds some space. Ollie Watkins does not make a mistake there. And despite a 2-0 win, the season's done. We haven't won the title. Very disappointing from the lads. Injuries kind of held us back. But let's look at the final table. On a more positive note, we did manage to get 3 players in the team of the season. Singo, Mbeumo and Watkins. And this was the final table. Only 2 points shy of lifting the Premier League trophy. The FA Cup went to Man City. We were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Cardiff. I don't know how that happened. I think that's when the injury crisis started to happen. The Carabao Cup went to Arsenal, so still no trophy. The Champions League is our only chance. And we finished 16th in the league phase, meaning we had to do the playoffs. And in the playoffs, we faced Sporting. We beat them 3-1 on aggregate, taking us to the round of 16, where we were up against Frankfurt, who we beat 2-1 on aggregate. So quite a favourable draw so far. We then had Bayern Munich, who we beat 6-3 on aggregate, taking us into the semis against Barcelona, where we lost 7-4. Seeing Barcelona City final with Man City winning the Champions League 4-2 on penalties after a 2-2 in 120 minutes. Wow, that is crazy. We still haven't won a trophy yet. I think next season we've got to win a trophy. Otherwise, Emery, his job might be up. But before we get into the next season, let's have a look at the stats. First of all, our top goal scorer with 40 goals at the age of 31, by the way. Ollie Watkins, 89 overall now. Absolute crazy statistics. Brian Mbeumo second with 28 and Marcus Rashford in third. Now, only 12 goals, I know, still not the best, but he did it in only 33 games, which is impressive. Well, young Rory Wyatt, he is away on loan and he's now up to 67 overall. He's grown to 5'7", so he's apparently still growing. He's still 16, so you never know. But let's see how he does next season. So into the next season. This is what the team's looking like. I'm giving Rashford the starting spot. This video was to be about Rashford. I'm actually going to make Morgan Rogers either into a 10 or loan him out. You know what? I'm going to make him into a 10. And we're also going to get a replacement for Konza. Last season, unfortunately, he let us down. He was out for 3 months. We're going to need a new centre-back. Let's prioritise a world-class centre-back. And there he is, Levi Colwill. He gets the number 5. I think that was Tyrone Mings-shire, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, to be honest. But makes sense as a replacement. 47 million, thereabouts. Let's see how he does. So we've reached January. This is what the team is looking like. We've seen a lot of good growth. Watkins is probably one of the best strikers in the world right now at the age of 32. Rashford, he's at least happy. He hasn't gone up. He's now 30. Imagine that. He's 83 overall. And Mbeumo's 88. Same as João Felix. And then Martinez 90. Colwill hasn't actually grown much. Bit disappointing. We do have Konza, but lo and behold, he's injured again. So it is Colwill starting. McGinn is still improving at the age of 33. I cannot believe it. Was hoping Onana would replace him soon, but not to be. Now we have a huge problem. Halfway through the season, we find ourselves in 8th place. And put simply, that's just not good enough. We are 12 points off top. We're going to need a trophy this year. So it's time we really went and spent some money. And we've given Rashford half the season to prove himself. I'm sorry, but it's just not good enough. 21 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Sorry, mate, but your time's up. We won't transfer list him, but he will become our second best left winger. And there he is, the man that's going to replace him. Jamie Gittins. It's now Gittins, Mbeumo and Watkins, the front three. Let's see if that improves our position come the end of the season. Now we've got an offer for Pau Torres. I'm going to accept it. He's 31, not really getting much better. We've got Zeze on loan as well, coming back, so we'll accept the offer. And guys, we've managed to go on a bit of a cup run. Round 3 of the Carabao Cup, we beat Middlesbrough on penalties. Then in the 4th round, we beat Burton convincingly 3-0. We then beat Coventry 2-0, a very favourable draw. And then in the semis, we faced Man City, but we dispatched them as well, 4-2, which leaves us a chance to get our first silverware up against Liverpool. Let's see how we do. And here goes the moment of truth. Oh, we lose 2-1. They have Cancelo now. He got the winning goal. We were winning 1-0, but still going to have some wait for our first trophy. So we've reached the end of the season, and as you can see, it has been a tough season. Way too many draws, 12 in total, meaning we have finished in 7th place, and that is not looking good. I'm not even sure we're going to be in Europe next year. It really depends on who won the cups. We also see Leeds, Forest and Brentford get relegated, with Man City winning the league yet again. And the FA Cup went to Burnley, which makes it even more painful, as we lost to them in the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's just not good enough. And as you know, the Carabao Cup went to Liverpool. And in terms of the Champions League, we did finish in the top 8, which meant we went straight through to the round of 16, where we faced AC Milan and we beat them 3-2 on aggregate. And then in the quarterfinals, we faced PSG. We beat them 4-3 on aggregate. So we're through to the semis. And in the semis, we fell short. We lose into Borussia Dortmund. It would have been us versus Real Madrid. And Dortmund, the eventual winners, they actually beat Madrid 1-0. So another trophyless season. I think time is starting to run out for Unai Emery. However, there are some positives. Mbeumo with 34 and 10 on the season. Watkins with 34 and 11. Rashford just with 3 goals and 3 assists. Honestly, I'm putting him out on loan next season. He's got 2 more years left to revive his career. I think it's getting to make or break point. We're going to need some quality players throughout if we're going to win anything. And although the team doesn't look too bad, I think a new left back, Ian Maatsen, he's stuck at 83. He's not the best. Levi Colwill, only 85. I thought he'd grow a bit better than that. So perhaps we find maybe a new left back and a new centre back. We'll strengthen our defence and we will go again. And he's still at Girona. Maybe time he made the move. Miguel Gutierrez. There he is. Aston Villa colours. Number 35 might need to be changed. But 55 million. He's our new left back. And Rashford is off to Monaco. Says for 2 years. We have an option to recall him at the end of the first year. Hopefully he can finally improve. And I feel like we should get a backup goalkeeper. Someone that's naturally going to take over from Emi Martinez. So Juan Garcia is currently at Wolves. Let's try and bring him in. And here he is, our second choice keeper. Cost us 30 mil. I guess him and Martinez can rotate for cup games. Could do with improving his kicking. We might put him on a development plan. And Grealish is off on loan again. This time a year in Germany at Frankfurt. Let's see how he does. And guys, after a big clear out, this is what the team's looking like. The starting lineup looks great. We do need to see some growth from our defenders like Gutierrez and Colwill. Both still young, should be growing. McGinn's now 33. Watkins is 32. Anana is good backup for McGinn. But we don't really have a great backup striker. So I think it's time we improve in that position. Now, he isn't the youngest striker either, but would be great as a backup option behind Ollie Watkins. And that's Omar Marmoush. We're going to assume in this save that Man City isn't quite working out and he wants to revitalise his career elsewhere. And there he is. He gets the number 10. Omar Marmoush becomes our latest signing. Let's see how he does for us. This is what the team is looking like. Surely that's good enough for a title charge. We're going to have to see. Let's go to January and see how we're doing. So we've made it to January. This is what the team's looking like. Seen some growth. Another 90 rated player in both Felix and Mbeumo. McGinn's managed to stay 87. Singo is about to be 90 rated, which is great. Colwill and Gutierrez just aren't improving. I'm actually thinking about replacing Colwill. And he's still at Inter. Alessandro Bastoni would be a game changer for us. And there he is. Gets the number 3 shirt. Bastoni joins 60 million plus Colwill, so a big fee, but should be able to sort out our defence. And it's another cup run. We beat Huddersfield in round 3 and Norwich in the 4th round. Quarterfinals, we actually got an impressive victory away to Liverpool 2-1. Semis, we faced West Ham, beating them 5-3 on aggregate. Close run affair between Watford and Spurs, but Spurs made the final. And surely we've got to beat Spurs in the final. And I guess here goes. And it is a convincing victory. We have finally picked up our first bit of silverware. Goals from Mbeumo, Rodgers and Watkins. You love to see it. 4-1 on the day. The Carabao Cup is ours. It's about time we had some silverware. So we've made it to the end of the season. Unfortunately, with one game left, kind of looks like Spurs have already secured the title. The FA Cup went to Chelsea on penalties. We got knocked out quite early on. And that leaves us with one more chance at silverware. Let's have a look at the Europa League. So in the league phase, we snuck through, finishing 8th. That took us to the round of 16, where we were up against Cercle Bruges and we managed to beat them 4-3 on aggregate. Close run affair. The quarters saw an all-English affair, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. We beat them 3-1. And then we managed to get past Lazio, beating them 3-1 on aggregate. Which, as you can see, takes us to the final against Roma. One thing Unai Emery's good at is getting Europa Leagues. Let's see if we can give Aston Villa one. Second chance of the year at some silverware. That's what we're playing for. Mbeumo has the tifo. Should have been Marcus Rashford, eh? And this is what our team is looking like. Bastoni at the back. Ben White and Emi Martinez back at the Emirates. So hopefully we can take home the trophy. Mbeumo looking for Ollie Watkins. Runs into trouble. He's got Mbeumo ahead of him. Is he onside? Goes for the finesse shot just wide. I think he was onside, you know. A big opportunity wasted. And Dovbik's found some space in behind. Gets it back. Good passing. Great save by Martinez. Watkins goes for the shot. Well held by Karnaseki. Oh, and he's rolled it out to Watkins. And we have managed to get the lead. An absolute weird mistake from the goalkeeper. Giving shades of Loris Karius. Let's have a look at that. What's happened there then? The keeper's just rolled it straight to Watkins. What was he thinking? Watkins did not need a second invitation. And 1-0 to Aston Villa. Can we keep the lead? Watkins has found some space here. Watkins is in behind. Sula with the big tackle, but it's only gone to Gittins. Sula with the big tackle again. Karnaseki very calm. Passes it around. And Roma have managed to beat the press. And Dovbik's in behind here. Bastoni chasing him. Bastoni manages to catch him, but it goes to Grassi. Grassi with the shot. Ooh, he's just put it wide. We are very fortunate. Unai is not liking what he's seeing. Rodgers finds Gittins. Gittins into Watkins. Watkins with the shot. Oh, went for power and placement, but just missed. Roma making a change. Jeremy Frimpong coming on. I'm surprised he wasn't starting, but that's fine. We're going to make a change as well. Bring on some experience. Ezri Konsa, Aston Villa legend at this point, comes on to help us shore up shop. Ben White's been nutmegged. He can get the cross in now. Not much long left. Bastoni with the big header. Anana with the clearance. And that is going to do it. We have completed the double. Aston Villa, first European trophy since, what, 1982? Unbelievable. And there it is. Captain, absolute legend of the club now. John McGinn lifts the trophy. And we are back in Europe. We're into the Champions League. Let's see if next season we can win it. And there it is, our two trophies, Carabao Cup and Europa League. Guys, don't forget to hit subscribe. And let's see if we can do even better in the next season. But first, let's look at the stats. So it's another 30 goal season for Ollie Watkins. And just behind him was Brian Mbeumo with 29. Both getting on a bit in terms of age. Watkins is 33. Mbeumo is only 29, so still got some years left. Younger players like Jamie Gittins had a great season. 24 goals and 12 assists. João Felix as well with 14 and 14. Doing very well. And a quick check on our Jack Grealish regen, Rory Wyatt. He's now 78 overall. I think next season he is going to be good enough to at least play a part in the team. Let's have a look at how he does. And by the way, guys, an absolutely insane season from Jeremy Doku. 29 goals and 15 assists. That must be some sort of record. Has to be. And guys, the Omar Marmoush experiment, it failed quite miserably actually. So next season, we're going to transfer list him. And I think it's time to give Marcus Rashford a chance up front, down the middle. Let's have a look. So we're into the next season, guys. And as you can see, we have a lot of players. Now, we're going to get rid of a few and see what the team's looking like after that. So bear with me a second. And guys, the clear out has begun. Omar Marmoush off to Chelsea for 49 mil. And one you probably didn't expect to happen, but the board saw the offer and they said to me that they just couldn't refuse it. And as you can see, João Felix is leaving us. Off to a Premier League rival though, but for 147 million, that's probably going to go towards a new stadium. And another big name departure, Ben White is off to Liverpool for 55 million. And after a lot of departures, this is what the team's looking like. And honestly, it's not actually bad. Probably do need a new right back. I don't mind Morgan Rogers being in the 10. He's still young as well, only 26, so still a lot of room to grow. Watkins has started to regress, but we do have Marcus Rashford back. And to rotate with Gittins, we've got our young Jack Grealish, Rory Wyatt. So honestly, I think a new right back and we should be good to go. And for 50 million, Connor Bradley becomes our new right back. Gonna slot straight into the first team. We are a bit worse than last season, but I think it's actually going to benefit us. Let's see how we do. And a chance at some silverware to start the season. Got the UEFA Super Cup against Bayern. Let's see how we do. And we have started off with a trophy. 2-1, Gittins and Mbeumo with the goals. What a great start to the season. And guys, we've reached the end of the season. And it's our best finish. We finished second, 9 points off top. Man City finishing and winning the league yet again. I think we've got one more season in us to see if we can do it. In terms of relegation, Everton going back down, Sunderland and Norwich. The FA Cup, we actually lost 3-0 to Liverpool in the final. The Carabao Cup went to Man City with them completing the double. And the Champions League is Dortmund versus PSG after we lost to PSG in the semi-finals. So just the Super Cup we're taking home this year. Let's see if we can do better in the final season. Before we get there though, quick check on the stats. Not as impressive as previous seasons. 25 for Mbeumo, 24 for Watkins. Rashford with 8 in 17. That's actually not too bad. He has dropped down to 81 overall now, so not the best. Jamie Gittins with 15 and 13, up to 91 overall as well. And the guy you've probably been waiting for, he actually played 41 games. He's now up to 82, but only 6 goals and 1 assist. Not great. Back up to Jamie Gittins as well, who is flying. I might need to make him into a 10 to get him more playtime. And guys, heading into our final season, I want to give Rashford a chance. So we're going to change the tactics ever so slightly. So this is going to be the lineup for the final season. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've enjoyed this rebuild. And let's see what we can accomplish. So we finished second in the league phase of the Champions League, taking us straight to the round of 16 where we faced Real Madrid and we beat them 4-2 on aggregate. Promising start. Quarterfinals saw us against Juve where we won 5-3. Then the semi-finals saw us scrape past AS Monaco 5-4, leaving us with a grand finale against Man City. And look at stats on the season. Mbeumo with 31 and 13 in just 52 games. Watkins with 31 and 6. Gittins with 23 and 17. Front three of dreams. Marcus Rashford struggled, as shown earlier. Didn't play much after that. Only 6 goals on the season. He's been a disappointment, to be honest. He is now 33. Probably will be retiring soon. And we do have Rory Wyatt, our Jack Grealish regen, reaching double-digit goal contributions on the season, 11 in total. He is now up to 83 overall, and he plays in at cam. And we're going to make 38-year-old Emi Martinez our captain. Surely should be his last season by now. He's still 85 overall. So here we are. We're at the Olympia Stadion for the Champions League final. Make or break time. That's the ultimate goal, to get our name carved on that trophy. This is the Man City team we're up against. They do have some familiar faces. Bruno Fernandes is on the bench. Chevrolet, Simpson, Puzzi and Diaz at the back. John Terry's son maybe? I don't know. And Maresca, Haaland and Savinho up front. It's going to be an interesting game. Let's see how we do. We managed to break away. It's Ollie Watkins on the ball. Ollie Watkins driving forward. Ollie Watkins. Oh, great save by Chevalier. That was a big chance early on. Emery can't believe it. Terry plays it over the top to Savinho. Manages to cut back. Savinho to Haaland. What a save. Oh, but it's gone to Maresca. And Man City draw first blood. It is 1-0. Still all to play for, but Pep is loving it. Watkins finds some space. Watkins puts it in and he gets the equaliser. Mbeumo with the cross in into a dangerous area, but was not attacked by the attackers. And Chevalier claims. Terry on the ball, driving forward, gives it to Haaland, and Haaland makes no mistake. 2-1, Man City lead on the night. And could that be the winning goal? He's run over to celebrate with his manager. they might just have beat us to it. Substitutions, it's John McGinn and young Jack Grealish. Rory Wyatt coming on. See if we can get one back. And Gittins has found himself in some space here. Knocks it back to Watkins. Big block. Gets it to Wyatt. Back to Mbeumo. Mbeumo with the shot. And Mbeumo equalises in the dying embers. It's 2-2. Still all to play for, but the Aston Villa supporters are going crazy. The substitutes have run onto the pitch and Mbeumo take a bow. Looks like we've got another half an hour in store. Great finish on his right foot. He's done really well there. Still all to play for. One last roll of the dice. Marcus Rashford coming on. Maybe he'll be the man to get us the winner. Savinho with the cross in. Haaland with the header. And heartbreak for Aston Villa. Erling Haaland has just won it in the dying embers of the game. And Villa cannot believe it. We thought we were going into extra time. And it looks like we have just lost the Champions League final. Savinho floated it into Haaland. And it's a good header. Beat Bastoni in the air. He has power header. And Martinez could only watch. And that's going to do it. It is a disappointing end to what's been a crazy journey. Guys, if you've enjoyed the rebuild, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10k subscribers. And guys, I'll catch you again in the next one.